Chapter 1. The first day of college. I still remember my very first day of college. I was nervous, scared, and, to be honest, completely lost. I wasn't the brightest student in school. Average marks, average confidence, average everything. But then she walked in. Her name was 𝐲𝐢𝐿, the topper. The girl every teacher praised. The girl every student admired. With her neat notes, calm confidence, and the way she spoke, she seemed like she belonged to a different world. And me? I was just sitting at the back, praying the professor wouldn't ask me a question. But destiny works in strange ways. That very day, the professor announced a group project. Guess whose group I landed in? Yes, hers. Chapter 2. The project partner. At first, I thought she wouldn't even talk to me properly. Why would she? I was the last bencher type, and she was the class topper. But surprisingly, she smiled and said, 𝐷𝐨𝐦𝐿. Let's do well on this project, okay? Her words were simple, but to me, they felt like music. For the first time in college, I felt noticed. Working with her was an experience. She was disciplined, focused, and hardworking. I, on the other hand, was careless and distracted. But instead of being annoyed, she guided me patiently. Don't worry. If you try, you can do it. You just need to focus a little more, she would say. And slowly, something changed inside me. Chapter 3. The Spark of Inspiration. Spending time with her made me realize how much potential I had been wasting. I started studying harder, attending classes regularly, and even taking notes. And all of this just to see that proud smile on her face when I answered a question correctly. But it wasn't just about impressing her anymore. I was genuinely beginning to enjoy learning. For the first time in my life, I felt motivated. She wasn't just a crush, she had become my inspiration. Chapter 4. The Bond of Friendship. Soon, we became friends. Real friends. We would sit together in the library, exchange notes, and sometimes even share coffee during breaks. One rainy evening, while we were waiting under the college gate for the rain to stop, she laughed and said, You've changed a lot. When we first met, I thought you didn't care about anything. But now you're one of the most determined people I know. That compliment, I'll never forget. My heart wanted to tell her that the reason for my change was standing right in front of me. But I stayed silent. Chapter 5. The Confession That Never Happened. By the second year of college, my grades had improved dramatically. From being a backbencher, I had climbed close to the top ranks. People started noticing me, but all I noticed was her. I wanted to confess my feelings, but every time I tried, fear stopped me. What if she rejects me? What if I lose her friendship? What if she laughs? So I kept my feelings buried deep inside my heart. Chapter 6. The Storm of Jealousy. Everything was going smoothly until one day, a new guy entered our class. Rohit. Smart, charming, and confident. He quickly became friends with everyone, including 𝐲𝐢𝐿. I noticed how she laughed at his jokes, how they studied together sometimes, and how teachers praised him too. That feeling of jealousy burned me inside. I had worked so hard, but suddenly it felt like someone else was stealing the spotlight, and maybe even her heart. For the first time, I started avoiding her. She noticed. Why are you acting so strange lately? She asked one day. I had no answer. How could I tell her the truth? Chapter 7. The Lowest Point. That semester, I lost focus again. My grades dropped, my confidence broke, and I started doubting myself. I felt like a loser who could never reach her level. But then, one evening as I sat alone in the library, she came and sat beside me. Why are you giving up? She asked softly. You were doing so well. Don't let small things distract you. You're capable of so much more. Trust me. Her words pulled me out of the darkness. Once again, she became the light that guided me back. Chapter 8. The Rise Together. From that day, I decided, no matter what, I wouldn't give up. I started working harder than ever. Exams were coming, and this time, I wanted to prove myself. Days turned into nights, and nights into mornings, as I studied with all my heart. She supported me throughout. Finally, the results came. And guess what? For the first time in my life, I stood second in class, just one step behind her. When she saw the results, she ran up to me, her eyes shining. I knew you could do it, she said, hugging me. In that moment, I didn't care about being first or second. Because for me, That hug was the real victory. Chapter 9. The Confession. On the last day of college, as everyone was taking pictures and signing yearbooks, I knew this was my last chance. I gathered all my courage, walked up to her, and said, "Ananya, I have to tell you something. You weren't just my project partner, or my friend, or my inspiration. You were the reason I became who I am today. I love you." For a moment, she was silent. My heart raced. Then she smiled. "You think I didn't know? I was just waiting for you to say it." And just like that, she became not only the topper of my class, but also the topper of my heart. Chapter 10. A Journey of Love and Success. Years passed. We both graduated with flying colors. I went on to start my own company, and she became a successful academic researcher. But through all the struggles and achievements, one thing remained constant: our love. Looking back, I realized falling in love with a topper girl didn't just give me romance. It gave me ambition, courage, and a reason to push beyond my limits. Together, we built not just careers, but also a life filled with love and success. Conclusion for YouTube. And that's how I fell in love with a topper girl. A love story that was never just about romance, but also about growth, inspiration, and success. Sometimes, the right person enters your life not to complete you, but to help you discover the best version of yourself.